Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember to hit that bell for notifications for when we drop new videos.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Greetings, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Oh boy,
Hello,
oh boy, oh boy.
indeed. Well, we survived.
We did. We survived.
We survived. And our other friends survived too.
Yeah. Several of them that are in the chat.
Yes.
And one of them joining us live here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
We had one hell of a weekend.
Oh, dare I say the most active weekend we have ever had?
You may.
Would
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about. So, I've been doing this thing called the Midwest Mystery Tour. It's basically a series of ghost hunting events, and on these events, I do some experimentation. We try new things, and we just investigate. Try to mix it up a little bit, introducing people to new locations and things like that. Started off last year with 4 locations. This year we had four locations. We got one more location left, which I'll plug that right now, guys. The last location for the Midwest Mystery Tour is going to be in September. Friday the 13th at McIntyre Villa in Atchison, Kansas, which is the same town that the Sally House is in. The McIntyre Villa is a pretty active location. If you haven't heard about it, do some research. Check it out. Last time we were there, we got some amazing stuff. Something amazing. A long EVP that was really disturbing. But yeah, it's a big location, creepy, awesome, everything you want for an event. So go to eventbrite.com, search for Midwest Mystery Tour, get your tickets. This is going to be a good one. Won't be super hot. So hopefully won't be super hot.
No 10, 15-minute sessions.
No. So as of right now, that's the last event for the year.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe when it starts cooling down, there's a good space of time. Maybe I'll book another one or set up another one. But for the summer, that's
a wrap. Summer, that's a wrap. That's done. Summer paranormal. Well, summer paranormal for Midwest Mystery Tour is done.
It reached 100 degrees today. 100.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the heat index is upwards of like 110 to 115-ish. You can feel it too. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. So kind of doing it in the summer just with a lot of people just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But
so
our folks last night were troopers, so I commend them for hanging in with us and just get her done, get her done, whatever you want to say. It was.
I think it just helped that it was active. So
I do too. I definitely think that as well.
So big shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Shout out to you though that are watching on YouTube and also over on Kick.
Yes.
But yeah, let's kind of get into the night. Well, let me introduce Carpenters Mortuary to you folks. This is a location that really is an unknown. I filmed there. I think John and I filmed there 2 years ago. Charles, turn up your mic.
I see. How about now, everybody? Is that better? Hello.
A little more. Get loud with it.
Hello. Is that better?
Sure. Maybe.
All right, cool.
I don't know.
Just Just tell
Well-
me yay or nay, guys.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
AJ
Alright.
wants you to keep going. Deeper.
Alright.
I mean louder.
Maybe it's the style. Is that better? Hello? Hello? Testing. Hello?
You sound the same to me, but
Alright.
through the stream is a different story.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that's true. It is very different compared to them. I was sick because I just sound normal.
Yeah, I boosted my volume because normally I'm a little bit quieter.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Carpenters Mortuary, like I was saying, John and I investigated a couple years ago, maybe,
Yeah.
and
Let's give him a
yeah,
taste.
John, we see you. We see you. We got John in the green room right now. He's going to be joining us here in a little bit.
Our esteemed guest.
Both are light.
Huh.
He's high.
I think so.
Morning, you're high.
Is that too loud? That's too loud for me. Good gracious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I feel like I'm almost peaking here on some audios, but we'll figure it out.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just talking to the mic whenever.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So anyway, Carpenter's Mortuary, we filmed there a couple years ago. There wasn't a whole lot of evidence or a whole lot of information about the location out there.
Yeah.
The only information I got was during the filming. I got the history from Charlie Bookout, who's the owner. Well, I guess co-owner. There's another owner that's with him. Got some information from them, some of the experiences that people have had in there, because it's a haunted house attraction.
Mm-hmm.
There are actors that are typically in there, and they gave us their encounters or experiences, and there was another paranormal team who I actually know these people that suggested it a long time ago, and they gave me some information about their experiences and things like that. And then a close friend of mine, Johnny Dale Roberts, he actually used to live there when he was a kid, so he had experiences there as a kid, which is kind of creepy because this place, believe it or not, used to be a mortuary starting in the 1929 and all the way up through 1974, and had a good dry goods store in the front, mortuary in the back. So party in the front, or no, business in the front, party in the
I was about
back.
to say, what? I mean, technically it was still business.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's hey, Taryn. So it's like, there wasn't any tragedies that happened on site
That we know of.
that there's any record of, but any tragedy that happens in town where bodies are concerned,
Yeah.
they're going to come to the morgue. They're going to come to that mortuary. And
Ooh. I just had a thought
uh-oh.
as to why it might have been. Yeah, uh-oh. Hey, Cassie, good to
Oh,
have you.
God, he's thinking again.
I know, right? What's wrong with me? As to
Somebody
why it
stop
could have
him.
been- why it could have been more active due to a certain object that somebody was given.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, possibly, potentially. So, yeah. If you watch the episode of Haunting History, the episodes, Charlie shows us the sink where they would drain the bodies into.
Yep.
Well, this Christmas, he was gifted something pretty awesome. The lady that bought it before they got it, she had the original bleeding table from the mortuary that she was going to make it into a coffee table, but decided not to, and she just gave it to him for Christmas.
Coffee table. God.
So now this bleeding table is in the mortuary again. Thank God. That's amazing that an original
Dude, right?
piece to the mortuary is back in the mortuary. And you're right, that is now in there, and I have not investigated since the last time I investigated to now.
Yeah.
I hadn't investigated with that thing in there before. So
I mean,
Um,
neither had I until this time, and then the first time was still pretty active. Don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty sure I saw something, but man, there was a lot. I feel like with this one, there was a lot that happened. A lot
Right.
of memorable, very memorable moments
Oh yeah. And
for a lot of people.
I think last time we were there, we had a larger group.
We did a much larger group. I want to say it was like 12 people last time.
12 or so.
15, something like that.
Which is fine, but
Yeah.
it was a little bit. It wasn't really difficult to manage. It was just, but we did like bleed through quite a bit more, like when we separated. And then this time we had, let's see, like 7 or 8 or 9 people, something like that. About 4 per group, right? 4 or 5.
Yeah, something like that.
So it was a lot easier to do things.
Yes, definitely.
And also, I'm
Manage.
gonna throw this out there because I definitely appreciate it. Most of everybody were return
Yeah.
customers, clients, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
them,
I think we had
visitors.
one person that was.
One new person,
Yeah, and
Well,
everybody else was.
yeah,
Yeah, technically,
technically,
but
yeah,
everybody else was all returns.
yeah.
Which, hey, I'm cool with. I love that. That's
Which
great.
I think that just
That could have
speaks a
helped,
lot
too.
to what we do with the
That as
tour.
well. Yeah.
But it was interesting to see, like, I think some of the people, like AJ, I think he probably had some questions, especially after his experience the first time,
Oh, yeah.
when he had his shirt lifted up.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I think that
like someone
probably-
watched that happen. By the way, it's not just him saying it. Like someone literally saw his shirt rise up.
I think he probably had some questions and like trying to, did that really happen kind of thing, and going back to get like that confirmation, and just, yes, you need a punch card. I should offer those.
Buy
Yeah,
6 get 1 free.
exactly. But I think he needed that confirmation, and honestly, I'm pretty sure he got it.
I think he did too.
I think everybody.
Was this just something, or is this like an actual thing with the location? No, I think it's an actual thing with the location.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
So as we're getting into the night, let's go ahead and bring John on.
Yeah,
John can be our second or third voice here.
he's our moderator.
Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen,
John.
Mr. John Long from
Hey.
Haunting History's own.
Yay!
We don't have an applause thing. I wish we
That's
had.
all right.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, something like that. How was the real quick? How was the setup going?
Who for Jennifer?
Yeah, for
Yeah, right. Yeah, she left.
you
Yeah.
left already? Oh man,
So
frustrated. No, I'm kidding.
So, John, you've investigated there with me when we filmed Haunting History. Going into the night, what were your kind of thoughts or expectations about the night going into the event?
Well, from the last time we were there, we got that one lady's voice after I kind of was rude to her and told her about killing her baby.
So let me clarify on some of that information for folks. So some of the information we gathered the first time we were there, one of the bits of information was something that happened in town that was rather disturbing, where a new mother had murdered her baby. We're not sure how she did it, but they found the baby buried under some rocks. And so, like, that kind of trauma, that kind of emotion that you would have to do that, to do something like that, like, that's a lot. And obviously that baby would have passed through the mortuary.
Yeah.
But maybe the mother too. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if she killed herself or anything like that. But if she was arrested, I mean, still there's a lot of emotion being left in town. And this place is pretty much smack dab in the middle of town, really close to some train tracks too, might I add. So during our investigation, we started asking, you know, did you kill your baby and stuff? And we had some stuff like the EDI plus meter like spiked up whenever we would ask that question.
Like,
and
it was a hard spike too.
And the more we pressed that question, the more activity seemed to kind of pick up. So, yeah, that question, that kind of line of thinking kind of went into the event as well. I try not to feed that information to everybody to just like focus on, because it could be something completely different. And who knows, maybe it is something different, but just doesn't like the idea of that happening. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Gosh.
So to start off the night, we split up into groups. What's that, John?
But we did capture a lady's voice when we were sitting at that table.
Yeah.
That night.
When we filmed Haunting History multiple times, we captured a female's voice, not through a ghost box, an actual EVP of a woman. And that's been my goal. That's going to be my goal and has been my goal going forward with the mortuary, is who is this woman? We want to figure this out. So during the event, we split up into two groups, and Charles, I'm going to let you kind of talk about the first round and what you guys experienced and where you went and all that.
So myself, AJ, Chris, and forgive me, I'm trying to think of their friend's name, and it's just, it's I can't remember. I'm really sorry. I'm horrible with names.
I want to say it's Josh.
AJ might be able to help if he's in there somewhere.
I think it's Josh.
Throw it out there. Josh. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
I think it was Josh. Yeah, he works for the news.
That's funny, right? We had two Josh at the first one, Josh at the second one.
Yep.
That's funny. God, I hope he had a great time too.
He did.
Good. Awesome. So, yeah, my group, we decided, we were put in the nuns' room first. Well, you put us on the one wing side first. So you guys started off in the entertainment room, yes?
So we went off to the very front, the entrance of the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And the nun room, for clarification, is this room set up like a funeral. And there's a nun that sits in this room. It's a dummy, and her hand is like screwed to the coffin. But Charles, the owner, has told us that there's been many times where they'll leave and they'll come back the next day and she's on the floor. So how she's ending up on the floor, they don't know. Yeah. So
we had not a few, but there were several experiences in that room the first time we had went to the first event. So I honestly wanted to start off in that room anyways, so I'm really glad we got put in that area. So I set up just basically I think 4 cat balls. I had a camera, they had a candle, and then I think 2 REM pods. And I will say the only thing that we got interaction on was the candle and literally one cat ball hit. Like it just I can't remember what we were talking about exactly, but I know it was like right in the beginning, pretty much. Like I put the ball down, it stopped, doing this thing when you put it down. And then I'd say within 2 minutes after, it lit back up again. But the thing is, so this candle, I think, is an EMF, like proximity.
Yeah.
Like detector.
Kind of like a REM pod, but in a candle form.
And you can adjust the strength as far as like how good it is, But so the candle seemed like it was, like going very regularly.
Don't freak out, John. We got music playing in the background.
Yeah, it's not you. Is that Jerry Garcia playing in my head? What?
It sounded like the storm warning.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys supposed to be getting storms tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, supposed to get sunshine.
Well, that's
sunshine.
Too much.
Oh, sunshine.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good movie. I was thinking the movie, what is it, Longest? Not Longest Yard.
Come on, Charlie, get your head out of your bony and let us hear the real story.
I'm losing it. Anyways, so we had the cat ball go off, and we had the candle kept going off, but we actually moved away from the candle. We kept it on, but we were like, hey, let's see if you can interact with anything else. And we weren't really getting anything, unfortunately. But I did have one funny blunder that scared the holy living crud out of me that I want to share. So I was showing the guys kind of what the IR looks like on the camera, and I wanted to record the nun, right? So I was on the stage looking towards the nun and like kind of watching everything. So I had the camera. When I picked up the camera, I didn't realize that my finger was on the zoom in button on the camera, and I just perfectly had it right there on the nun. And as I flipped the screen over to see the screen, boom, like just right in the nun's face. And it I was like, oh god, oh okay, wait, it's just a nun, we're fine.
She had a creepy face. She looked like she had
yeah.
one blind eye.
She was weird. Like no thanks. And I can only imagine,
Hello, Angel.
Chris's experience, but we'll get into that with her. And so yeah, that was really funny. But then, go ahead.
I was gonna say there was one experience that you had in there that was kind of interesting with the.
So basically, I remember kind of looking towards Josh. So it was Josh, AJ, and Chris. Chris was sitting down. Chris was sitting down. AJ was sitting down. Josh was standing up. But right over the chairs that are in that room, you could see like basically just kind of like just below their knee, kind of around the mid of their shin, essentially. Right. And I thought I saw something like, because I'm trying to think here, what light we did have, you could see coming in from, because we kept the haunted house lights on for this session, just because like kind of make it a little spooky. And so we, I was looking off towards Josh, and in the corner of my eye, down like just above the seat, you could see that white kind of like fade out for a second in my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, well, that's weird. And then moments later, Chris says, I just got a cold chill come through. And then AJ felt like he had something touch his leg. Chris was sitting farther up against the wall than what AJ was. So AJ was more out in the walkway. Mm-hmm. So if I did see something and he felt something and he felt something, AJ was more prone to actually feel like a... Oh, did you hear that?
No.
Okay. I thought I heard like a sound come from the headphones. So that was weird. So we saw that and we were like, okay, well maybe that's something, maybe it's not. But the fact that we had the three things that kind of happened in line, literally, Chris first, AJ, but Josh I don't think felt anything. So, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. And yeah, Josh heard it. Hey,
there you go.
Got my back, Josh. Thank you. We'll have to go back and listen to it. And
yeah.
This show is just, I don't know, not necessarily
our show is
prone,
haunted, by the way.
But we do get activity. It's weird.
During our show. It's so stupid.
Just malfunctions, hearing random audio, like whatever.
Yeah.
Which, okay, so.
Always when we have a guest.
Always. Oh, that's such a good point. It is guests. It's the house.
Our guests are haunted.
Yep, that's what it is. It's John.
Even Steve Arnold, like when we had him on, he's not a ghost hunter by any means, but still, something happened. His malfunction.
Yeah, Jessica. Jessica looks like she's having some interesting experiences.
Some fun.
Yeah. Playing with that Ouija board lately. Anyways.
Right.
So after that, we decided to actually come back into the main meeting area, which was where the mortician, the mortuary was. And I don't think we... Wait. Was that in the time that... Because I'm trying to think here. Did we... Oh, there we go. Is somebody writing something?
Me.
No, that wasn't it.
You're hearing the clicking?
No, I thought I heard it like twice, but...
Well, I'm bumping this.
Maybe it's that. I can't say
it might
definitively,
be. Because it's not mounted. It's just hanging there.
But it sounded more high-pitched, though. You know?
Okay.
Anyways, so... I think we were in that room, and AJ went to go back to the nun room with Josh. Chris and I were sitting in that meeting room. You guys were off doing your thing, and I think you were in the merchandise room. Yeah?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
We
It's where
did
you-
go there at one point, yeah.
I'm
so-
getting to when the door closed
Okay.
the first time.
Well, before you get to that,
Okay.
we'll
You tell
talk
your
about ours here.
experiences. Sorry,
So-
I'm super excited.
We started, our group started, me and John and Jennifer and Jess, we started out in the front in the lobby, the staging area or whatever they want to call it, the lobby where you enter the actual haunted house attraction. And we were probably there for 3 to 5 minutes. It was so damn hot.
A lot of cars kept driving by.
That was the biggest thing. I think we could have suffered through the heat for a few more minutes, but yeah, there was a lot of traffic still out.
At that time
And-
of day, I'm not surprised.
It's right there on the corner, so like we decided let's move further in, and that way it'll block some of the sound, which it did. So we moved to what's called the merchandise rooms, where they sell a lot of their merchandise. I think a lot of us, like maybe, I don't know if everybody in our group, I know everybody got touched, I think, but most of us felt that spider web feel. That spider web, like, and it would just come and go, like it.
Yeah.
I told Charles, the owner, I was like, it wasn't like we were walking through an entrance where they had stuff dangling down. This is low. This is like on our hands and on our arms and stuff. Like, it was weird. And just as an overall thing, like everybody that night felt the spiderweb sensation.
Oh yeah.
But
Like for me, it was on my elbow.
yeah, you'd feel it on your elbow or on your forearm or something like that. It was weird.
I'll get into it, but I definitely felt it on my leg.
Yeah, that's right. But there's in the merchandise room, there's like a center divider thing in the middle of the room. It's like a where they have some more merchandise on it, a rack, I guess. But like I could see over the rack, and Jessica was on the other side of the rack from me, and I could see probably from like here up, and I'm sitting there looking in her direction, and I see like this shadow kind of coming up around her shoulder area, right? And I see it, I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's kind of dark to be her. She was wearing a dark shirt. So that was the first thing I thought of. Like, oh, maybe she's lifting her arm up or something like that. But she wasn't. And I told her, hey, lift your hands up, move your arms and stuff like that. And she did. Couldn't recreate it. So I seen like a small shadowish movement right there over that rack. And I think not long after that, she got touched on the elbow. She said it didn't feel like spider webs. It felt like somebody took their finger and just kind of ran it up a little bit.
Yeah.
John, did you have anything happen before the end of that session? Anything you wanted to comment about?
When we were in the gift room or whatever.
Yeah.
you want to call it,
Yeah, the gift shop.
Basically it got cold. It got really,
Oh,
really
that's right.
Really? You guys felt cold sensation?
Yeah, John and Jennifer kept feeling like cold spots.
it got real cold because I took and got real cold. I took and stepped back into the other room, and it was hotter than hell in there. And then I stepped back, and then I walked right back in the cold. But Jennifer, between me and Jennifer, yeah, it got pretty cold in my arms,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was pretty intense.
Angel's asking, did we happen to hear any music? I didn't hear anything. I don't know about anybody else, but nobody actually said anything about hearing any music.
Yeah. I don't recall hearing music, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
And shout out to everybody over
I
on
wasn't there for all of it, so.
shout out to everybody over on Kick. What's up? Leave it if you got a question or anything, throw it in the chat.
Absolutely.
So towards the end of that session, as we were getting ready to leave out of the merchandise room, we heard a door shut.
Yeah.
We thought maybe one of you guys did it, or maybe somebody was up front of the building trying to get in or something. And we came out to the into the morgue area in the back there, and yeah, Chris was saying he heard the door, and
Well, okay, so let me get into that.
Yeah,
So
you gotta jump
he and
in
I
there.
were sitting there in the meeting in that back room, and I'm actually just playing on my phone, doing whatever, and I hear something, and it sounded like movement, as in something bigger.
Yeah.
Not, and I asked Chris, I was like, "Hey, did you just move something?" And he's like, "No, that wasn't you." And I was like, "Dude, I haven't moved. I thought it came from over here, which is in the direction like where I was sitting, in the direction of where that door would have been. It was off that left side, and in where he was like, "Oh, I thought it was off over here," and he pointed the exact same area where I thought it was. Like once we talked about it for a second, because then I kind of was like, "Okay, that makes more sense." But yeah, so we heard it as well, and initially, like I said, you believed it so much that somebody was that you're like, "You need to go outside now, go check."
I wanted to make sure nobody was actually trying to get in. It was that loud and prominent. So I had AJ run around the building to the front. Nobody was up there. I had him pull on the door to see if it sounded like it too, and it did. I'm not gonna lie.
We tried two doors. We tried the exit door and we tried the entrance door the first time.
Yeah,
that first go.
So
which it did,
whether or not it was one of those doors, we don't know. Just happened to sound like one of them.
I'm gonna say it wasn't. But that's just me.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit. Damn it, Charles, we'll get into that.
I'm just saying.
Damn
it
it,
wasn't.
man.
Hey, Kelly, good to see you.
Son of a bitch!
Hey, don't make fun of me. I got excited. Very excited.
Yeah.
Well,
so
we'll get into it.
then we took a break, but we got into our second session, and that's when things really started to pick up and get interesting. For us, my group, we went into the nun room. Trying to think what we had. It was kind of hard, really. We didn't really hear much of anything. And at this point in the night, I went ahead and turned on the Jacob's Ladder that they have there. I want to point that out. There's a big Jacob's Ladder that is in this place, and
it's awesome.
I let it run the rest of the night, and it fed energy into the place.
Oh yeah, so much so that we had an instance that we think we figured out. Anyways, we'll get into that later.
So, like, out of the nun room for me, I know there was a couple times I thought I heard a female, but it was so low that I couldn't be specific. I couldn't be precise. And the funny part about that is the only females there were with me and John, Jess and Jennifer. So I know it wasn't Jennifer. She was sitting next to me. John would have known if it was Jess, and I'm pretty sure Jess wouldn't be just making random noises.
I
don't know. She does fart a lot. Love you, Jess.
Oh, so that's what that was. It wasn't paranormal at all.
Not at all. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's not. This is not normal. The amount of toots is not normal.
Rob dust in this place as soon as I got here.
You know, when you're on an investigation, you're under such pressure, you have to let it go somewhere.
That's true.
It's right into the
Phantom
recorder.
Smells, guys. Phantom smells.
Oh, I smell something fruity. Wait,
oh my god! It hit all the way across the.
You've been eating juice.
It went right through the maze and everything.
Yeah, right. Literally maze. Like this place is a legit maze.
Maze. Now, while we were in the nun room, I know John had an experience. I know he heard something. If you want to elaborate, John?
What about the nun room?
Mm-hmm. The footsteps?
Oh, yeah, footsteps. Yeah, we were sitting there, and then all of a sudden I heard like somebody walking.
I think Jess heard them too, didn't she?
Yeah, because that place has got so much dirt on the floor.
Oh, dirt.
That's true.
I mean, you know, it's like walking through an abandoned building where all the crap's falling off the ceiling, and you're
like walking on cereal.
Yeah, it's a
dry
authentic
cereal
feeling. Okay, jeez.
But you could hear the footsteps that was pretty prominent. So
yeah, I thought I heard like a dragging sound. Like it was a, but like it was breathy. This was a different time. I don't think it was in the nun's room, but it was. I think it was in the entrance area. There were no cars that drove by. Like it's a pretty distinct, and it was low, It was quiet, but somebody else heard it besides me. I think it was AJ, but I could be wrong. But I know somebody heard it with me.
Well,
John-
one thing about the nuns' room, though, during the investigation, we didn't hardly have anything hit on the equipment.
Yeah.
No.
It was like
I had a REM pod in there. Nothing.
Yeah.
I had the REM pod in the first session. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the nun's room was oddly quiet electronically.
For
the last time we filmed there, we were in the nuns' room, and my gosh, that thing was going nuts.
Yeah, the EDI Plus.
Yeah, that thing was going crazy.
My EDI was acting weird too. Like, it was
Well,
having some weird instances.
It also went off whenever John asked it to.
Oh, nice.
If you guys want to see that, it's on Haunting History. Just look up Carpenters Mortuary Part 2. Is when that
hey,
happens.
make it go up more. Like, oh,
Yeah.
whoa. Okay.
It's just like, is this enough? Is this enough?
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ, enough with the questions.
Yeah, because we
That's what
spent
it
a
sounds
long time in the nuns' room because that thing kept going off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, didn't want to, like, leave it hanging, might as well get as much as you can out of it.
I mean,
Right.
Our final session, dude. Wow. Anyways.
Honestly, there wasn't really any, outside of that, there wasn't much activity for us there.
And the nuns? Yeah.
Yeah. And we even went back into the mortuary before you guys came back, and we still didn't really have much of anything in there either.
Yeah, so where we started for the second go, we went to the merchandise shop, and it was so hot, dude. It was insanely hot in that room for us.
So
we were
hot.
all so hot.
Sweating away.
Oh yeah. And at one point I had mentioned, feels like a laundry sauna in here. Like it felt like someone was doing laundry in a really hot, steamy room.
Yeah.
That's literally what it felt like. I was just the only thing I can like equate to what I was sensing. And so we were like, you know what, let's get the hell out of here, guys. Like let's maybe I think we were in there for 5-10 minutes and we were all sweating bricks. Like it was hot.
Oh, yeah.
And so we decided to go to the entrance area. And I love this entrance area. It's so cool. You can see the freaking melted skeleton on the table through the glass. You see the huge giant skeleton in the corner, and then there's this like weird crypt keeper dude standing there. It's just a really, I don't know, it's an interesting waiting room.
It's a good entrance. Good entrance.
It is. So we were in there. It's the same group. I want to say okay, so as far as trying to get sounds to happen, there wasn't really a whole lot that, like, in the beginning of it, but then we decided to bust out the ghost box.
Which was interesting as
AJ had. Yes. And, dude, it's usually, very easy to tell what's radio and what's not radio.
Yeah.
But
And
when you
AJ, real quick,
Yeah.
AJ, if you're still in here, you can elaborate on some of this too while you're
Yeah.
in chat. So
When you have the same voices come through at different times, the same voices at completely different times, and I'm not saying like, oh, it's been 15 seconds, dent, 15 seconds, dent. Like, it's just different times throughout our questioning. And just, I think there were three main different voices that we had come through that box. One female, 2 male.
mm-hmm.
We tried to get a name from the first, what we thought was a male entity before.
Okay.
And we got the name Jack. That's just what we heard. And we asked it again, what's the name of the male? And the female came through this time and said Jack. So the first time was the male saying Jack. Second time was a female saying Jack. We were like, okay, that seems pretty interesting. Like, that was weird. So, and then we started to go with the female. Like, since she had just answered, like, oh, we just heard female, let's try some questioning there.
Let's press her.
Well, the pressing. Aha, nice. I see what you did there. The line of questioning that you get for the female there typically revolves that baby subject.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, you know what? Let's just say it. Let's put it out there.
Just ask.
I was like, did you kill your baby? And we got a yep or a yes. Like, one of the two. It was a confirm Y word. And
Confirmed yes.
Yes. So we were kind of just like, okay, well that tells me like this is who we think it is, and got a it said baby. Yeah, no, it literally said baby. It was weird.
Like it
'Cause
just
I
flat
think
out
it was-
said baby, or it is like draw it out like he wrote.
No, it said baby, like because we were asking like, what were you? I think it was what are you looking for, or are you looking for your baby? And it said baby, but it was a female voice again, of course. So after that, we were just like, okay, so I think it was something about why or how you killed your baby.
Yeah.
And it said pressure. Just female voice, pressure. So I thought it was, well, who pressured you to kill your baby? And then Chris thought, like, his line of questioning was, did you kill your baby with pressure? So we both had, different reactions to that question. And I think, and it's kind of fuzzy, I apologize. We either asked, was it the baby daddy or was it the husband or something along those lines? Did they force you to kill the baby? And it said pressure again. So we don't know if it was like maybe town pressure or
Right.
maybe she had an affair with somebody and had to get rid of the child, or if it was a husband. There's many different ways you could go with this.
Out of wedlock, if it was a long time
Literally.
ago,
Exactly. So
I thought when we were down there the first time and we were talking to somebody and they said something about she wasn't married and she lived at home and I guess she hid the baby away or something like that.
she buried it under some rocks.
Yeah, under
that's
rock.
right.
But I mean, as far as people knowing she was pregnant and stuff like that, she kept it kind of undercover.
yeah.
If she buried it under some rocks, maybe that's how it died, is the pressure from the
pressure
rocks.
From the rocks.
Hard to tell.
Boom. Maybe it's pressure from both. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
AJ said it was male and female both said pressure. So that was interesting as
Yeah.
heck.
Hey, Susan.
Hi, Susan. And then trying to think if we got. Is there anything else in the notepad that I'm missing?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So at one point, you guys were doing asking questions, and at this time is when we were actually in the nun room, and when we were in the nun room, I did not take my walkie with me.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I did not have a walkie on me,
Dude.
and you guys.
That was so actually let me
Heard something.
clarify here. That was before we got before we started talking to the male and female.
Okay.
That was at that moment. So
Okay.
because we were about to leave and we were like, "Hey Dave, we're going to head back just to give you one of those things." And Chris radios you and goes, "Hey Dave, we don't hear because I think a beep comes through when you talk or something right before you talk. We didn't hear that, but for some reason your voice came through the ghost box and said, yeah. Not kidding. Just, yeah. Like your
Yeah.
tone, your pitch, yeah.
Yeah.
Your tone, your pitch, everything. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were like, yeah, what's up? Kind of sound. We were like, okay, well, that was weird. Maybe it was Dave and the radio caught it up or something or maybe the ghost box caught it instead of our radio. Come to find out, Dave left the walkie-talkie in a different room.
Yeah. I didn't take it with me.
WTF, mate. Yeah. that was
Another
interesting.
thing was the 1854 thing.
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah, this was cool.
This was
Actually,
interesting.
I was pretty happy about this. Thanks, AJ. So I'm going to say it, but it's going to happen. So we got a very unpleasant word that came across
Oh, yeah,
the
that too.
ghost box. This is
Don't
how we
say
narrate-
it.
This is I'm not going to say it. We got a
He's gonna
very
say it.
unpleasant word about things, and Chris thought it said neighbor, But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's the other N word. Hard R, other N word.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Exactly. And I was like,
My neighbor.
that's what I told him. I was like, I don't think that's what it said, man. And Josh, I'm pretty sure, is like, no, I definitely heard what you heard, Charles. Like, just straight up, like, confirmed my suspicions. I was like, okay, well,
What's the rhyme with?
That's racist. What?
Trigger.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, well, that's racist. And so then my mind thought, I was like, well, maybe we're dealing with someone that's not from the time period we thought. Which, I mean, to be fair, early 1900 people were still throwing that word around like it was
Oh,
nothing.
yeah. I mean, they still do today, but...
Right.
whatever.
But I was like, well, what was here beforehand? And Jessica found out that Gentry was actually, or a township was established in that area in the 1830s, right?
Yeah. Well,
So-
there were people living in the area in the 1830s. It became a township, like an actual town, incorporated town in the 1880s.
That's what
So
it was.
there's a big
But there was
period there.
people living around that area. So I had asked if, like, were you a part of this land before the mortuary and the store was here? And it said yes. I'm like, okay, well, how do we narrow this down? So I thought it said, I said, what did I say, late 1800s or 1900s or something like that.
1800s, late 1800s.
Yeah, I think I said 1800s or early 1900s, and I think I heard the word 18. I could be wrong. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let me back that up. I'm trying to remember how we got to that. So somehow we figured out that
That's a good
in the
point.
18. It is a good point. Somehow we figured out to ask whether it was in the 1800s or not. So I was like, okay, I'm going to say 18. I'm going to start at 1800 and go up to, the location the spirit is from, and I'm pretty sure it said 1800s. So I was just like, well, I'm going to list off years by 10, so 1800, 1810, 1820, and I want you to tell me which one you're from. Like, I think I said say stop or something like that. Tell me when.
Right.
And so I went 1800. I waited like a good probably 30 seconds to a minute for each one. 1810, 1820, 1830, 1840, 1850, stop. We're like, okay, so 1850s. And I was like, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to start at 1850 and go up to 1859, and I want you to tell me when to stop. I got 1850, 1851, 1852, 1853, and then when I got to 1854, we heard. I don't know if you guys heard that at all.
Barely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it.
We got a knock in the room. For some reason, when I said 1854, we had a knock not right after, but generally in that time.
In that area. Yeah.
And we're like, okay, so, and then I thought, like, I was like, okay, maybe that was it then, because they like gave us a knock instead of saying stop or, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, we'll say 1854 for right now, but I'm going to keep going just in case. I say 1850. I say 1860. After I said 1860, it said go back. So I just took that as 1854. I took the
Right.
knock, it saying go back, 1854. So we think maybe it's someone, the guy that we were talking to, maybe it was Jack, maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure. But we think it was in 1854, around that time. At least that's what we were
Possibility.
getting. Exactly, It's a possibility. I don't know. I have no proof. I don't know the history. I would love to, but that's just what the box was saying, okay?
Now, from what AJ and Chris were telling us when we took the break,
Yeah.
and AJ, you can tell me if I'm telling it wrong or not, but I know Chris said where he was sitting in that main lobby, he was looking into the operation setup where there's a plexiglass and you can see this melted corpse on the table and stuff, like it was on an operating table. But he was looking that direction, and in the top right corner, he seen like this shadow move.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, AJ spoke up and said he saw a shadow down on the bottom left. And I don't know if like the movement would have been the same or how the time frame was exactly on that, but yeah, I remember AJ and Chris saying that they saw a shadow in there, which is really interesting because surprise surprise guys, on Haunting History, and I can pull up the clip real quick too. On Haunting History, there is a scene where John and I were in that front lobby, right? And trying to pull up the scene while I'm talking about it. We're in that front lobby, and I'm running to the thermal, and John's over by. There was a door over there at that time that led that way, but it's where the operation room is now. Okay. But in this clip, like, I didn't tell anybody about this. So, like, if you've watched Haunting History, if you've seen this episode, here's a little piece of evidence that I put in there that I didn't say anything about to see if anybody else caught it too. But if you watch the right side of this clip, you'll see something move in the thermal.
Yeah.
Are there any spirits that would like to speak with us?
And that's why I panned to the right. I'll play it again.
Are there any spirits that would like to speak with us?
Oh, what was that?
So that was out of the same area that they saw the shadows. So that made, when they saw the shadows and stuff, that made me like, oh sweet,
Whoa.
you guys saw something moving
Yeah.
there. Whenever I capture something and they're moving, that's flipping awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Was flipping awesome.
If you guys
Then-
didn't see what I was talking about, go back and watch the episode.
Right. But then we
yeah,
pretty
go
much
ahead.
decided to go ahead and come back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yep.
And we decided to take a break because we were all just sweating buckets still.
Yes.
Like we were getting activities. We decided to tough it out and follow through with this line of questioning.
The only air conditioning was in the mortuary part, the back part of the building.
Yeah, which
so
I mean it was fine. Honestly, we had a fan rolling to
least-
try to keep somewhat cool down.
at least we had a break area.
Yes.
But at this
So-
time, I decided to start running experiments, where if you guys have seen me do this, like with Josh Hurd, I've done it. With Dan Williams, I've done it. I did it with Dan on our Ashmore Estates episode.
Yeah.
But I do this thing called the sensory overload, where we basically bombard your senses and stick you in a spot all by yourself, and for about 15-20 minutes, your sight, sound, your psychology, your feeling, everything is just getting bombarded, and you have to make out your surroundings basically. So as I'm running this, I'm taking one person at a time, and everybody else goes off to investigate on the other side of the building towards that the entrance area. And I will say, AJ did mention to me that at one point after I had left, he said he heard my voice behind him say,
Yeah.
hey.
Like you were going to get him or saying something or whatever.
Yeah, and he turned around and looked, and I wasn't there. There's no light because I had to have a light because at this point all the lights were off. So that mimicking thing apparently happened
Dude.
twice.
I'm just saying, wouldn't it be crazy if that first time when we were there, that's when it started mimicking you, where you were literally getting up, walked through the door to come get me, and within seconds the group was like, they could heard me like, hey, what's up? Or like, Dave? Or like, what? I said something. They're like, no way, he got there already about you.
Yeah.
But I was touched on the shoulder, like I thought it was my time to get up and get out of the room.
Mhm.
Like, I literally felt like someone touched me on the friggin' shoulder. It was weird. So maybe that's where the mimicking started. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because you were the one relieving everyone from their spots.
Yeah. So John, you were with the group that went to investigate. Why don't you lead me up until the event? Don't get to the event.
Yeah,
but
don't
lead me up.
say it. Leave that for me, please.
Lead us up to the event.
All right.
The
Anyway,
main event.
We had all went in the room, and myself and Jennifer, we were sitting on this old rickety couch. And then Charles was more or less in the middle of the room looking towards that door. And then we had, I'm lousy with names.
So AJ was sitting on the floor, kind of against that TV box thing.
Yeah.
And then Josh was No, was he there? Yeah, he was there for a bit. He was actually more over, I think. Was he? Did he?
I think he
consider-
came
No,
back
he came
a little
Yeah,
while,
you're right. He came back before.
and Chris
you
was
started.
with me.
Yes, because Josh was the one going, and then Jess, like before things happened, Jess was like, "Yeah, I should probably get back now, like to go do things." So Jess was standing next to me. Her and I were pretty much in front of the entrance door of the entire building, and Jess had a tripwire set up, essentially the string of lights. She had that set up around the room. I had a cat ball in the middle door, one like. When I say middle door, I had a cat ball set up. There's 2 doors in this going into the maze. One's actually an exit door for when people are too scared, and then one is the actual entrance door into the maze of the location. So I had a cat ball in front of the middle left door, whatever you want to call it, and then the entrance door. Actually, don't think we had anything. There was one of the
Jess had her.
And I thought we had a
lights.
REM pod sitting on the floor.
The REM pod was, I think, was it on the floor or on the table? Because
I thought it was on the floors. I
think you're right. I think it was on the floor too, John. It was next to me on the floor in front of that creepy mannequin figure dude. I can't remember what we called it. Crypt keeper, whatever. So actually, John, I remember that you and Jennifer were feeling cold spots over by you guys.
Yeah.
For sure. So that was funny that Dave mentioned. That's what I was gonna say earlier, but I wanted to wait till say today or later. Was you both felt cold spots again, but it was in the entry room.
Yeah, because I mean that place is like an oven.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's interesting. So
Because I was sweating like a dog, and
yeah,
and all of a sudden it just got cold, not cold in there, and I quit sweating.
yep. And
And
I'm trying to think what else you guys might have. Did we thought we heard something. I can't remember what. It was over in that corner by Jennifer. We thought we heard something come from that wood area.
yeah, she thought she had seen something, and
Yeah.
she whipped over there because she had her phone going,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
she was going live. She was running it live, so
And
she whipped it over
Thank
there.
God.
yeah, no kidding. The tripwire, not trip. Yeah, the tripwire. One of the lights went off. Every now and then it would go off. We had like a really good burst at one point. It was like 4 lights went off. But really to set off before the events, before the big event started, there was one of the tripwire lights went off, and then a cat bell went off. So it seemed like it came out of the entrance door, went right, and it looked like it pretty much left. Oh, I know what it was. We thought we heard something down the hallway through that middle door, the entrance room exit door, essentially, which is where the cat ball was set up. We thought we heard something down that hallway. So we hear that, and then we see the light go off. We see the cat ball go off. And I think at this point, a little bit later, Jess was like, all right, I think it's time for me to go, and we're going to go talk to Dave or go do something. And I think that's when we got the hits from the 2 things. Yes, that's when we got the 2 hits. A little while later, because Jess decided to stay because we were getting activity. The camera that I was using just malfunctioned. It just stopped recording. It didn't turn off. It just stopped recording, and it said cannot record. So I turned it off, turned it back on again. Still said cannot record. But then it said something about like clean memory or do something to record on this camera. I can't remember what the words said, but it was basically it wouldn't let me record. So
It was reformat the.
yes. So
Yeah, the SD card actually ended up crashing, guys. Like
wow.
I've tried to recover it, but or I haven't tried to recover it, but I've tried to load up the memory card on the camera and on a computer.
Yeah.
It crashed. It
Literally.
is corrupted.
See, I didn't know that. I thought it just like something happened. Like it just wouldn't let me.
I mean,
record.
something happened.
It's clearly something happened. So the fact that freaking blows my mind. I think something messed with it because literally after the camera stopped working, I went and sat it down, and I went back to where I was at in the beginning of the room, and I was like, oh man, camera stopped working, something good's gonna happen, guys. Like, literally called it to a T. Like, I still can't believe it. And that's when I should have started recording on my phone. So yeah, with me saying, oh, something good's gonna happen, I would say what, 2, 3, 4 minutes later, we have the audio. We can go over it sometime, or I guess we're gonna play it here in a little bit. But I'm not for sure. Huh?
The door just started like barely moving.
I was looking in the direction of that door. The door is like just straight across the room from me. Okay. I see the shine of the reflection of the light from outside on that glass of the door, and I'm just like super focused on this door now. Jessica, who's next to me, her and I are both like just I hear her like do one of those, I do one of those, and the door just shuts. She's shaking her arms up in the air. I'm going freaking ballistic. As you'll hear, I said, son of a bitch. Like, literally, I was stupid excited.
So
but that door just didn't shut. That damn thing slammed.
Literally slammed shut.
I have Jennifer's video. I can't just upload it or add it to here. So what I'm going to have to do is share my screen. I don't know if the audio will play doing it that way. But I'm going to try it, guys. We're going to see if it works. Share screen. Oh, there we go. There we are. Add to this. All right.
I got you, Kelly. I will.
Now, this is off of her cell phone story, but if any of you in chat pray, please send a few.
There was a really bad, a dam gave way.
Oh, wow.
Iowa. Or up in, is it Iowa where the dam is, or is it farther north?
She said northwest
well, no, I know,
Iowa.
but I'm pretty sure the the dam's in Minnesota, and it goes through Iowa, northwest Iowa. But, yeah, it's pretty sad up there.
Damn.
Stay safe, kid. All right.
Not making light of it. I'm just saying, damn. Jeez.
No, yeah, I agree. That wasn't intended. I understand.
All
Wasn't
right.
it Iowa where they just cut all the water off?
I don't know.
I've been at work and I just came home and got this all set up.
Same.
So.
I haven't had time to look into any major stories around the U.S. today.
So this is a video. She's got the full video. That's 30 minutes long. So I'm just going to let this play for a couple minutes because so much is going on. The thing's blocking where I hit play. Okay, so we'll just... Can you guys hear it?
Nope.
Don't see nothing.
I knew this. Yeah, you can't.
I mean, can you hear it?
No.
Don't even hear it.
You can't, so I don't think you can do audio. Like, you have to do an internet window, not a video.
Well, I hit window on the share screen.
Well, no, what I'm saying.
No, I
is
know.
a
I know what
tab.
you're saying.
Yeah.
This isn't
tab.
internet though, so
Well, that's what I'm
it's not
saying.
gonna-
Like, it's not going to show the audio. We're
so
not gonna have
that's
audio.
pointless.
According to
next-
the screen, it said it was paused.
No, it wasn't paused.
Well, that's what it said. So
I was like,
Because you were getting volume, you could hear it.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys can't. So
Yes.
I have to convert.
We'll
the
throw
video.
up a clip later.
Yeah, you guys will get the clip later. We'll put it up on the shorts on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
And on the
So,
YouTube, Facebook.
yes, Jess, she said, "Do it again." She was yelling, "Do it again, do it again," and we're like, I tried everything I could think of, like in the moment, to debunk, freaking A, that situation. And the first thing I found out when I went over there and opened the door, that door is wedged tightly against the wall behind it.
Yeah.
You have to like pull on that door to open it or to close it. So like really pull on the door to close it. So I just immediately blocked that out of my mind. And then I started to think what you and I talked about before, where what if it was pressure in the building somewhere, right?
Right.
But the thing
like
is
a vacuum.
But the thing is about this, there with how tight that door is pressured up against the wall, and with how many obstacle ways through that freaking room. It's just a giant area. Yeah, and AJ tried to figure it out too. We don't know how it closed. We just know that it closed, and it closed hard.
Yeah, I even went back there, pushed it open to where it would stick, and it took some force to pull it off of there. So
I'm just like awestruck at this moment because I just watched a door close by itself. And I was trying to process everything to keep it fresh to make sure I remember this later. But then we figured out, because AJ said something along the lines of, yeah, that's the other time this door's closed. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean other time? Well, when we were coming into the room, you closed the door in front of me. And I'm like, dude, I didn't close the door in front of you. It closed behind me. I thought you slammed the door shut, like, behind me as like okay, and like just like close the door, kind of thing. He's like, no, why would I do that? I'm like, so you're telling me right now you did not close this door behind me? I thought you were right behind me. He's like, no, I was behind you, but not right there. I'm like, oh my God. This door literally closed right behind me when we first went into this room. So this door closed 3 times. What I think is 3 times that night by itself. I can't explain it. I don't know. I would love to try to recreate it, but we could not get it to close by itself again.
Well, that's like me and Dave were talking the theory about that. How do you know that this spirit didn't manipulate the camera and take and wipe it out?
That's essentially
and
that's
then took the camera out, made all the lights go off, and then slammed the door.
That's what I'm thinking it is. I really do.
Yeah.
I think something manipulated the camera. And there was a question that I'm going to get into it a little bit, but not all the way, because there was a really good ending to our night. Somebody had asked a question, Jess, about whether being on camera hurts. And we had a device. Bloop.
yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
We will
later.
get into that. So, with that being said, I'm not surprised that sometimes, not even sometimes, I would say a pretty good portion of the time, paranormal teams find equipment that malfunctions right before something big happens. Right before something. That's why I said, oh man, camera turned off, guys. Something good's about to happen. Because it's the cliche, right? John was even saying, like, in the moment, he goes, well, that's always how it happens. That's how it happens. Camera messes up. And I'm just
think about this, too,
holy cow.
People are probably going to, some people say or argue with, well, Spirit's going to have energy to do all that. Well, guess what? We had that Jacob's Ladder running all night.
Literally. There was
all
so much energy in that place.
And that, another thing, that Jacob's Ladder, remember all the weird noises it was making?
Yeah. It sounded like at times like it would speed up or it would just drag out like this, the zapping. And it was just weird. There was no rhythm to it at points, at times. Like something was either trying to draw the energy or it was just like mixing up with it, It was kind of peculiar to hear it. That was one of the things we pointed out when we were in the nun room, because we could hear the zap and pop from it, because it wasn't too far away from us.
No.
So
I want a Jacob's Ladder now so bad.
Yeah, I mean,
because I can say this with confidence. I really believe this. Every investigation I have been a part of that has had some form of Jacob's Ladder there, we've witnessed some sort of activity. It is so, it's too frequent because it's happened with Haunted Soul Society. It's happened with you now, and with you and Haunted Soul Society being there. This thing, I don't know what kind of energy it puts out. I would love to look into it and dig into it more for sure. But even Jennifer, when I showed it off to her in the beginning of the night, she's like, oh man, you could really feel the energy when you're close by this thing.
Oh yeah.
You feel the charged energy when you're by it.
The one they had, it's 3.5 feet tall. It's a big one.
Big. Lots of it's awesome. So I'm really glad we turned that back on again.
Well, John, you got to build him a Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, John. Give me a price. Let me know. Not right now. You don't have to do it right now. Think about it.
Oh, I'll be back.
Yeah. $400,000.
He's done.
That's the price. Yeah, that's the price of paranormal equipment these days, right? Thousands of dollars now.
Yeah, that's the going rate.
I know. I can't afford that. Anyways, so
But yeah,
after,
that was like the event of the night. Really, that was like.
yes,
But it wasn't the
door
cap off.
closing. Oh,
It wasn't the cap
so
off.
I will. Yeah, right. But I mean, so it's one thing for me to just be like, "Oh my god, I saw a door close." Jessica, who was right next to me, saw the entire thing as well. I'm not alone in this. She literally like, yeah, everybody in the room heard the door slam or heard it like close and stuff, but we watched it happen. And we were both super ecstatic and excited. Like it was, I have never. I mean, yeah, I've seen doors close on paranormal video from like TV shows and stuff, but never in my life have I ever seen a door close in person. I've heard them close when I was far away or somewhere else in a different room. Never have I ever seen a door close with my own eyes in front of me in real time.
When I was watching it, when it first started, it was like really slow. It just started just moving real slow. And all of a sudden it went whoom and it slammed shut.
Yeah.
Like somebody just took, like was just moving and then like whoom.
Yeah, it was a hard close.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm trying to convert this file while we're on so I can put it
Makes
on.
sense. Well, so do you want to talk? So aside from that, do you want to talk about some of the experiences that people had as far as? Oh shoot! You know what?
The last
I totally
round?
forgot. Well, I real quick. No, not the last round. The Jess's experience, AJ's experience, like stuff like that. But real quick though, I will say I forgot to mention that the first time that the door closed by itself, when we Chris and I were in that back room, after that happened, and he and I were like, "Did that happen to you? Or did you hear that? Did I hear that?" I thought I felt something brush up against my ankle, right there. And then another thing that happened that I forgot was, before we left the nun room on the very first go, Chris was like, "Hey, go touch," or not? Yeah, Chris said, "Go touch AJ, and we'll leave the room." Or like, we're about to leave. Go touch AJ or something. Literally, no joke. Gets touched on I think his knee, somewhere on his knee or something, and he just immediately, well, all right, and like grabbed stuff to go because he got touched again. It was so funny.
So I will say also, when Chris was actually doing the experiment at the time that you guys had the door slam.
Yes.
Both times the door shut, and he said before you guys even came out, when his experiment was done, he and I were sitting in that lobby or in the morgue area, and he was like, it sounded like a couple times like a door had shut.
He didn't hear me at all. Did he hear me at all?
No.
That's so wild.
He heard a door shut twice when he was in there. The other thing with the experiment, with his experience, was he was saying like with the strobing light, his vision wasn't focusing, so he kind of looked up in a way. But as he would pan back down, like once his eyes focused, he would pan back down, and when he did, on 2 occasions, he saw the nun's face in the mirror. Now, the way this nun is sitting is like she's got the profile facing this way. The mirror's like up and facing out this way.
Same.
So he saw the full frontal of her face in the mirror. So how that happened, I don't know.
I don't know.
But that was something that happened.
Yep.
But he did, with him hearing the door shut twice, that does kind of confirm that you guys did have it happen twice.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not because, like I said, door closed behind me the first time. Thought it was AJ messing around. Nope, wasn't AJ.
And I do have the video now,
from
Jennifer's phone.
Yeah, you won't hear the first slam from our session, but you'll hear probably like right before that.
I think the video clip that I just cut out is like 5 minutes or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Oh my God. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Figured it out.
Come on. It feels rather dead right now. What? Oh, come on, we're literally you turn the light on. Oh, okay. I thought you were really asking. I was thinking, you turn the light on. Yes.
She does have. I know she's got the cat balls going off.
Come on, guys, run through them lights right there and set them off.
Bump it up.
Right. Your energy up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I do remember making that comment. Like, all right, Jess, let's get our because Jess was standing next to me. Like, let's get our energy up. Because it was feeling dead.
Yeah.
I don't like the spirits up.
Saw your red light come on for a second. I was like, oh, light can't. I'm like,
Right. No, that would be.
Oh, this is what I sound
What's
like.
David doing right now?
I think he was chilling in the room and then waiting for Chris's session to finish. He's gonna swap out with the other guy. I can't think of his name.
I need to do this stuff.
Yes, she is. We probably should go back. Yeah.
Oh.
Thank
Of
you.
course, as soon as I say, we should go back. Oh. Well,
That was the.
We should be
trip
going.
wire-
Do you think we
trip
should go
and
back?
The cat ball. Yep. The tripwire went
Can
off
make
first
these
on the
lights
first
go
O.
off again? Are you leaving us?
Do you want us to go back in the other room?
Are you gonna go see what David's doing?
cannot record.
That's what the camera. That's right there. The camera started malfunctioning.
I hope it caught that.
Me too.
I'm gonna try first. Let's look up here. Here we go. Nope, can't do it.
Think,
That's weird.
Yeah.
think we should head back in the other room?
Back in the what room?
Something good's about to happen, guys. Can't record.
See, there.
Are you gonna
Something
go
good's
see
about
what
to happen,
David's
guys.
Are
doing?
you out of memory? So this
That's what it sounds like. It's
Yeah, I think
an SD card.
probably. Well, it's like it's all experience from here on out
Yeah.
for us.
I hear it, Morty.
Do that again. Light the cat ball up.
That was awesome.
That was-
You did a great job. Are you gonna go visit Dave in the other room? I already
It's
love
like it
y'all.
started there and then worked over there.
Here it comes.
Well,
My
I guess
heart's
you're going
pounding.
back and I'll leave too. Got
I
that.
wonder if it was coming through.
Oh, the door just closed. And the camera's off. Son of a bitch! God damn!
Door.
I guess we're staying in here.
I'm so pissed off right now because the camera malfunctioned, dude. I was
Unless
so
somebody fucking
mad.
with us.
I'm so mad. I was like, is someone fucking with this? So yeah, I went to go check for sure.
I was gonna say.
Hello? Dude. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm getting an ice cold thing by my foot.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Let me back it up again for the door.
Oh, sorry for the profanities, guys. I just got really excited.
Oh, the door just closed.
It slams for.
It's hard.
It hits
And
hard.
the camera's off. Son of a bitch!
That's the way.
That's gonna be a soundbite now. Son of
It's
a
gonna be a
bitch.
soundbite. It's gotta be a soundbite. Oh my god, dude. You could hear it in her voice, just like, oh, but she's going, oh, I'm going, oh, like the door's just closed. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just so surreal, and I'm so glad she was recording. Oh my gosh. And I know Jess's I think Jess's recorder was going too. And God, I'm still blown away that literally beforehand, oh, something good's about to happen, guys, cameras off. Like, just,
Right.
I freaking called it, man. But
You
I was
sound like
so
Shaggy.
mad.
I called it, man.
I called it, man. But I wanted to punch a wall so bad.
I think it sounded like you did.
I did. I hit the
Damn
wood.
it.
I didn't go full blast, but I was just like, oh, one of those, like, oh, of course the camera turns off. Oh. Like,
And now, and all the video is like pretty much gone because we had the ghost box session that you guys had on.
Yeah.
It was on there.
Dang it.
So all of everything that you filmed is gone.
We got too many answers.
You did. You got too close.
Wow.
But-
Man.
That was not the end of the night.
No, it was not. All right, so next part. So Chris and AJ decide to leave. They're cutting out because they had I think an hour and a half drive, something like that.
They had a long drive.
Which I could totally understand. It was like 112, 120. So we were almost done anyways.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I really want to investigate this room. Let's go lights out. Let's turn off the AC. Let's, like, in this room, let's just check it out. And I am so glad we did. I am so happy we did. So,
Yeah, because at this point,
yeah.
the REM pod that I have did not go off at all throughout the night. But for some reason, it started like answering us
in through the REM pod and the tripwire.
And the
REM pod
tripwire.
and the tripwire were both going off. Here's the wild thing. That REM pod does not normally go off on investigations. It's much like the EDI meter that when it goes off, something is happening. Because we've used it enough now that we know, like, if it's going good or not. And
Yeah, Jerry, I noticed that too. But it's also a compressed audio on those, so it could be a sound as well that just sounds like that. But it's just something we have to go back over and listen to.
So I'm trying to remember what all we were asking. I
know,
will say that the ones
one of the
go ahead.
questions,
Yeah.
one of the questions, like Jess asked, does being on camera hurt?
Oh yeah,
and it would bleep.
It bleeped. Yeah, it definitely went bleep. And we were like, okay, that was weird. But at times it would do the string light, or it would do the REM pod, like bleep, bleep, like kind of.
And there was at one point, like I even asked it, like, let's try to do one of the higher colors, or if you squeeze it hard enough, it'll change the pitch of it. And it did it once when I asked it.
Yep.
But just the fact that it only would blip whenever we would ask something, as if it was responding to us.
Well, so then it stopped for a while, and
it's like it had to go get energy.
Right. Blah, 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 use your words. Can't talk. The thought, it was either one of you guys or it was me. I don't know. One of us asked, "Do you have to go get energy to answer us?" Blip, blip. Or it was one of the two, either two bleeps or one bleep. I can't remember.
It bleeped.
We didn't do a specify one bleep yes, like two bleeps no. We didn't do that. We just we were happy that it was even going off.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, it seemed like it would go away. All this stuff would just stop, and then it would come back.
You can answer a few questions, you know?
Yeah, and it would just periodically seem like it was... Because my thought was, it's leaving the room to go to the Jacob's Ladder to pick up the energy, and it's coming back to the room to answer our questions. Which, literally, I would say the Jacob's Ladder was like 4 or 5 feet away, technically. Maybe 6 or 7?
Longer. It was further than that.
Okay, so
probably... It's a lot further.
10?
It's a lot further.
I would
say 10. Further. No, it's probably about 25 to 30 feet away.
Okay, well, that's...
You got to think, guys, you're talking about a ghost. You're not talking about a normal person walking.
Well, I know. I'm just saying it seems like it's taking time to go do something and come back.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hurrying like pew pew back.
Yeah,
there and back.
Just taking its time to go do something, gather some energy, and come back. Because we were like, hey, use our energy. You could use there's plenty of stuff that you can use here to.
Or if it's interdimensional, maybe it's just like taking a shit, come back.
Maybe.
Hey guys.
But.
Wash my hands.
Yeah, that was really neat too. We were getting hits on the, and I wasn't expecting it. I really was just gonna do, see if we can hear something, see if we can hear a voice or something, and we got some blips on the REM pod. I was very happy with it. So,
and it would seem throughout the entirety of the night, like we would hear faintly like a female still, but it was like super faint. I think everybody's kind of commented on it, like, I think I may have heard something, but
and we didn't get any, at least I didn't get any activity or notice anybody talking about activity in the blood draining room. I didn't hear anything.
No, I know.
Not like the first time.
John, you went in there, didn't you?
Yeah, we went in there, but with the air conditioning and stuff, and
yeah,
we didn't get anything.
All right.
we didn't even, nothing went off. Didn't hear anything. It's just like it was just an empty room.
Yeah. It was a wild night though. I think everybody had a great time.
Oh yeah.
The evidence, the activity, it just seemed pretty 100%. Consistent. Again, Carpenters is not a known place. This is not a known location. The spirits there probably are not used to people trying to talk to them and trying to respond. So, the fact that there was all this release of energy, maybe they were just kind of holding on to that because the place is not in operation until October. And that's when everybody shows up for that. And then during the down seasons, it's, oh yeah, I forgot. Jess finally had had her fear levels go up from the experiment. I forgot about this with Jess's experiment when she did her participation. At one point,
no, I'm kidding.
she gets a sticker.
She's the best trophy in the world.
I know she was telling me like it felt like a shroud was kind of going over her, and
yes,
and
like
at some
halfway, like
yeah,
just the halfway it was cut off or something like that, and then the sound just
started fading out, and the actual sound, the white noise, it actually stopped. No
something
reason.
Turned off.
My
Something
phone
turned it
did
off.
not die. Like I'm playing it from my phone, but the sound stopped.
So that's
it worked with everybody else, but it stopped with her.
Would you say that's 2 times we had an interference on tech?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I guess
Like,
you could.
like abnormal. Wasn't ghost hunting equipment. Well, I mean, camera is ghost hunting equipment, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then she did
Yeah, she had severe
the
nausea.
severe nausea. Which last time AJ had severe nausea. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember because I think they left like not too long after felt like I think he didn't feel pretty sick, but he got pretty
Yeah.
sick. It seemed like.
And then during AJ's session, yeah, the strobe light, it got faster and brighter in there. I set it to a slower speed. Not when I went back to get him, I noticed that it was actually pulsating faster. I'm like, that's not right. I didn't do that. There were footsteps in the area right after the noise cut off. You're muted.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, Carpenter Mortuary is an amazing place. Again, if you haven't seen the episodes, I have them on Haunting History. You can go to Haunting History on YouTube and just search for Carpenters Mortuary. It's in season 6, and there's 2 videos. There's different evidence in both videos, and then if you want to join us on one of these investigations, we have one coming up in September. Limited spots, guys. There's limited spots, so the sooner you get your tickets, the better. This
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
It's all right. Our next one is going to be on September 13th, which is Friday the 13th, up in Atchison, Kansas, from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. This is going to be an amazing investigation event. We've got some really good stuff. If you go back through our episodes, not too long ago, we did an episode about our last trip up there, and had a really disturbing capture from McIntyre Villa.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this event. I think it's going to be a blast. May or may not have a guest investigator, but I might, set up something later on this year too. It depends on the weather. I am not setting up any more events for the summer because it is hot as balls. But
had to experience it.
Unless you got air conditioning.
Yeah, unless there's air conditioning, I guess.
So a quarter of Malvern, got it. No, I'm just kidding.
We're only going to investigate like the downstairs.
That's why we go up north.
Yeah, we'll go to Maine.
Somewhat.
We should
There you
investigate in Maine. Maine.
I'll be down. Maine.
Let's go investigate Maine.
Jesus. But I mean, other than that, I know I've got a couple investigations as far as just personal, and I am super excited going back to. I'm actually going back to Malvern in July, so say a prayer for me, Jess.
Yeah, wear tank top and
Yep.
Get you one of those neck cooling fans.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
But guys,
I might have something else too if work will allow it. But yeah, I'm super stoked. It's great. It's been a great year.
Yeah, Carpenters Mortuary, an amazing place. I want to thank everybody that joined us on that investigation.
Yes.
Some of you guys are here in the chat. For those of you that missed out, yeah, you missed out on a wild, crazy night. Maybe next time you can join us and partake in some of the craziness. I'm looking forward to actually going back. I think John and we might be going back later this year. We might have to film out there again, John.
Yeah.
Hopefully none of the cameras malfunction and erase our cards and all that good jazz. But
bring extras.
Bring extras. I probably will. I should.
Yeah, with just 2 people, it might be a challenge.
It might be. Separate split off, each one of us with a camera?
Yeah,
it's possible.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds fun. I will so be there next time. Yeah. Like I said, I know everybody had a great time there, and I definitely appreciate everybody that's come to this event, past events. I'm really looking forward to growing this tour. If we can grow it, awesome. For everybody that's watching on Kick, I appreciate you guys watching. Throw what's up in the chat, and if you haven't yet, head over to YouTube, subscribe to Boogeyman Radio right here, and head over to the Haunting History and check out Carpenters Mortuary. You guys will be, I think you'll be pretty impressed with the evidence we collected from there the first time we were there.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Charles?
No, I think we literally covered everything.
John, anything you want to add before we go?
Some bitch.
Son of a
Wait.
Oh, he's gonna
Son of a bitch!
No, I hate it so much. I hate that. God. I hate that picture so much.
We should make that a t-shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, put some bitch on it.
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
Hey, it's the son of a bitch guy.
That guy's never going to live it down. He's like,
now.
everybody tells me I look like this guy on his podcast.
Then there's going to be a copyright claim and everything.
Maybe. We'll alter his face a little bit.
Bitch.
I'll try to morph his face with your face.
Oh, God. I can only imagine.
Hey, it might be all right.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sirs. Yes, ma'ams. And everything.